So what do you think about the NFC East this year?
So the NFC East is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, on paper, the Cowboys should be the best team, but
Right.
they underperform year after year. The Redskins have a new coach, a good defense, question marks. They're always a tough out for any of the NFC East teams. You go to Washington, that's you never know you're going to win that game. That's always
Right.
tough.
Yeah. Exactly.
uh, the Giants have a young team, but they've gotten better every year. Danny Dimes had a great end of the year. Saquon came back healthy. If Slayton emerges again, then you guys could be more competitive the entire season. And the Eagles themselves were just like taped together with bubble gum and construction paper all last season and still managed to win the whole thing. So it's like
Yeah.
if they're healthy, they could, just run away with it. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Last year or 2 years ago, before the injuries, they had one of the best rosters in the NFL. I mean, when they went to the Super Bowl, that was one
Yeah.
of the best rosters in a long time, top to bottom, defensive line, offensive line. So what's going on with Jason Peters? Is he playing, or did you guys drafted a left tackle? I know that from Washington, I believe.
So from what I've seen reported is that we had no intentions of bringing him back at all. But then when Brandon Brooks went down and tore his Achilles, they were thinking about reaching out to him and seeing if he'll play guard. But I don't think that ever happened. They're kind of happy with the young guy they have moving into that spot. So I don't
Yeah,
think they signed him.
Peters, yeah,
Yeah.
wanted a lot of money, but Carson Wentz gets hurt, so you got to protect him. But I think that Dillard kid, they drafted him in the first round. He's going to be pretty good. So
Yeah. So I mean the Wentz injury prone thing is kind of a hot topic, right?
I
It's
guess
like
everybody thinks he's going to get injured, but
you either think he's really great and really unlucky, or you think he's super injury prone. He's fragile, and I don't see it like that. Both of his injuries were super fluky. The back injury, that happens from time to time to players. Like Romo had a back injury,
right.
So I mean that's a tough injury for quarterbacks, and he's a mobile quarterback. I mean, I think he's actually fairly durable compared to other mobile quarterbacks. Like Vic was made of glass.
Right.
Vic would get hit and he'd go out for weeks. So like I mean, we dealt with that when he played for the Eagles. But I don't see Carson Wentz as an injury-prone player. I just think he's been unlucky. That concussion was super unlucky. It was like the play was over, the hit was later, dirty or not, it was late. So I mean,
Right.
it's just not a play that happens all the time. And then that ACL, man, going into the playoffs against the Rams was the weirdest injury because, like, I don't know. Normally, when you see an ACL injury, a guy plants, or he gets bent over his leg. He was literally just diving forward, and it got caught between two players or something. It was the weirdest fluky ACL injury.
Yeah, that was his rookie season, right? When they
Second year.
second
Second
year,
year.
that was the Super Bowl year, right?
Yeah, it was the Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson had the same kind of injury too when he had that great year, the second year too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I like Carson Wentz. He's like 6'5". He's a big dude, and people say he's injury prone. But I mean, you're right. He's probably just unlucky.
I mean, right? If he goes on to like be healthy for the next 4 or 5 seasons and performs at the same level he performed at the last couple of seasons, people forget that he was injured early in his career, and he'll end up having like a Hall of Fame career probably. And he's got the potential as a skill set.
So last year I drafted Carson Wentz in my fantasy teams because I was very excited about him and Deshaun Jackson. And the first game, him and Deshaun Jackson went off. They went off. And Deshaun Jackson got hurt apparently after the game. I don't even know. Like he played the whole game and then he's like hurt. I don't know what happened. So that kind of ruined my season for Carson Wentz. But Ertz gets like 10 targets a game. So, and they got 2 great tight ends too, which is great. So I guess my question is, do you think they have a lot of help on the offensive side for Carson Wentz?
So Carson Wentz kind of reminds me of like McNabb in a way, because like he doesn't have the same caliber of weapons that other quarterbacks in his division or even the league have. Like McNabb never had a number one receiver outside of T.O. a couple seasons. You know, he was playing with like guys named like James Thrash and Todd Pinkston. Like those guys aren't going to the Hall of Fame. But so I feel like it's a similar type of roster for Wentz. And he's got a skill set that can elevate guys who are either good or mediocre to like the next level. You know, mediocre guys can be good guys can be great. You know, when you have a guy Wentz throwing you the ball. I think they went a long way in trying to shore up that wide receiver position. The
TCU guy, the TCU wide receiver, Rhaegar or something?
Yeah, Nelson Rhaegar. No. Yeah, is it Nelson? Nelson Aguilar. But his name is Nelson Alshon. Dude, I said I wasn't going to do this. I said I wasn't going to get the names wrong.
No, you're good. Braga, the guy from TCU.
It is Rager. It is Rager. But he's I watched some highlight videos of him because people were saying he was like really fast, and I don't know who cut this highlight tape of him, but it was just videos of him getting caught from behind. Like, don't get me wrong, he was fast. He was like juking people and then running faster than a lot of them. But then he would get caught from behind. He's not even the fastest guy on the field, but I don't know. He's probably fast. He's faster than me, right?
Oh, you've been running a lot. How is your mile going?
My mile time's coming down. I ran 6:48 yesterday. So the story behind that is Colin Cowherd said on his show, I don't know, a couple months ago. I just saw a clip of it. He could run a 6:15 mile, and I'm like, there's no way Colin Cowherd can run faster than me. Okay. So I literally went out that day, saw how fast I could run a mile, and it was like 7:30. I'm like, no way. Does it take me a minute longer than Colin Cowherd to run a mile?
Are you doing fantasy this year? Fantasy football?
So I normally play in like 5 or 6 leagues, and I run one. And I'm not sure what my plan is going to be this year, because like I don't want to charge people money to play fantasy football for, I don't know, 8 weeks, and then everything gets canceled or something weird happens, and it's just an illegitimate season, and then everyone has all this money on the line. You know what I mean?
Point. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think there has to be some type of like agreement before we start. Like, if this happens, we have these type of things. You get refunded or something. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be really weird, I think.
Yeah, because there's the scare of a second wave when winter starts and flu season starts, a combination of flu and COVID. So yeah, definitely a concern. I was just thinking, Miles Sanders is going top of the first, early second round. I just think, what do you thought about that?
So Miles Sanders was he was a bargain last year, right? He was going in like the 5th, 6th round if you got him.
Yeah. You had to wait on him though.
Yeah. I don't know. I just did a fantasy draft before I hopped on here just to see what it would look like. And I was the 8th pick in a 12-team league, and I got him with my 2nd pick. And I think that's a good spot to get him at. He's got a shot. He's got the talent and the offense to have like 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards this season.
Really? That's a bold prediction, Steve Wile. Dude, that's bold.
Especially if the wide receivers are as bad as they were last year. Like, who else are you going to throw the ball to?
Did he catch a lot of balls at Penn State?
I don't know if he caught a lot of balls at Penn State, but he caught a lot of balls
last year. He did. I do remember that touchdown catch in the end zone, and he was like in the back of the end zone. I do remember that. Yes.
It's Washington, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
That throw from Carson was amazing.
Yep, and he got open. He put his feet down and everything to get that in. So that was a good catch.
So on top of that, though, if I draft Sanders this season, I'm also drafting Boston Scott.
Yeah, because they gave him the ball a lot. That scared a lot of Sanders fans.
He was 3rd in the league last year in red zone efficiency.
Okay. So that's
So,
your
and he only
that's
played
the
like
handcuff?
4 or 5. Yeah, definitely, 100%. I wouldn't draft Miles Sanders without eventually drafting Boston Scott, just because, you know, he's got standalone value. Boston does, and if Sanders goes down for any reason, he'll just hop right in there as a pass catching running back, and just see his numbers improve. So I think that's the play with the Eagles backfield.
Nice. I like it. I like it because I do like Miles Sanders. I got a keeper league, so I'm keeping Saquon Barkley, and I get to pick where I'm going to draft. So I'm going to keep Saquon Barkley in the first with the last pick in the first, and then I'll have this first pick in the second round. And I'm thinking about him, or if Jacobs is still there. I don't know. I don't think Jacobs will still be there, but I'm thinking about going Barkley, the Penn State duo right there for my 2 running backs. But yeah, I'm excited about fantasy football. Yeah, you're right. It's unpredictable. I don't know what the hell's going to go on. Aljamain's UFC fight?
Dude, Aljamain is the only fighter who I've seen every fight that they've ever fought.
Not even John Jones?
I didn't watch some of John Jones's like middle fights. Like I saw his early fights when he first entered into the UFC, and then
you really liked him.
Yeah, I mean I went to Morrisville with both John Jones and Aljamain.
Yeah, he was a part of the Bomb Squad team.
Yeah.
My buddy was in the same wrestling room with him at one point.
So Jones was at Morrisville my freshman year, but he transferred in the spring, so he couldn't participate while I was wrestling. And then I took the next year off. Like I dropped out, didn't do anything. And he was there. He wrestled for Morrisville that season and then graduated and went on. And so when I came back the following year for my sophomore season, but like my third year of college, Aljamain was there. So me and Aljamain were actually in the same wrestling room until he broke my ankle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was actually a captain of the team, and we were running a captain's practice before the season started. And it was, the end of the practice. We were all just getting ready to pack up. We were going to get smoothies or something. Me and Aljamain were the only 2 wrestling, and he was kicking my butt. He was, wiping the floor with me. I hadn't gotten a single takedown in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, dude, just give me one burst. Let's go. I need to get a takedown. And he ankle picked me and boom, snap. That was it.
Man.
Instead of getting smoothies, we went to the ER, and I've never wrestled competitively since.
Isn't that going to be a great story when he wins the title, the belt?
Dude, I love it. I tell everybody, man. Well, the best part about it is that, okay, so then I spent the entire season at Morrisville on crutches, and like I would just hang out with the wrestlers and chill, but I couldn't wrestle or participate at all, which sucked. But I transferred to Cortland after that. So me and Aljamain became friends. Transferred to Cortland for education because I was going to do teaching, and he ends up transferring to Cortland too, to wrestle to Cortland. So like we stayed close there. We actually played flag football together. He was on my flag football team. He cut my hair sometimes. Like we're pretty close. And he was always trying to get me to come to Ithaca with him to train at the Bomb Squad. And I'm like, dude, I can't do MMA. I can't get hit. Sometimes I think about like how different my life would be if I would have gone and like started doing it. I don't know.
Do you think you could see yourself in the octagon, put the legs in and everything?
Oh yeah, 100%. If I was like training for it, like at the same rate that Aljamain was, or like somebody like that, I definitely could. But I mean, not now. Not at 30. Not at 32.
Yeah, that's crazy because I met Aljamain at Cortland on your flag football team.
That's right.
Yep. And
you were on my flag football team. I just thought it was you knew about.
No, it's great. It's great for the viewers. But yeah, his brother was on the team too. I remember his brother was fast, really fast.
His brother, more athletic than Aljamain could ever dream of being. Troy was so physically gifted, man. That dude was taller than Aljamain, faster than Aljamain, stronger than Aljamain. Crazy.
Yeah. What a great! It's so crazy when people like come like you just know these people and you like got your hair cut with him and now he's gonna fight for a UFC title belt. It's a crazy story.
Dude, I
And
love it, man. I tweet at him and I like talk to him on Facebook and Instagram all the time. And then when he talks back, I feel like yeah, this famous person is like interacting with me. It's so cool.
it says a lot about the Cortland wrestling room too, because I started wrestling at Cortland for a while and it was tough. I got my ass kicked. I couldn't. I I actually quit because I was doing a job too. I just it was so much of my time I couldn't do it. But imagine if I did too. Maybe I'd be in the fucking octagon as well. I'd be on Fight Island.
So the UFC, SEA. So was that job the pizza place?
Yeah.
So
And
all
I need-
right. So
Go
do you remember when I delivered pizzas for that place for like 2 days?
Oh, you did? No, I don't remember. Well, all my friends delivered pizza for that place. I don't remember. You did too?
Dude, for 2 days I delivered pizza for that place, and it was tough because I was working at Price Chopper, I was going to school, and then I was doing the pizza like even later than Price Chopper. So like I was delivering to like I don't know how late you guys were open till like 1, 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I worked like 1 or 2 nights in a row. I was scheduled for the next night, and I was just wiped out. And I fell asleep before my shift. And you called me, and I'm like, "Yo, where are you?" And I'm like, "Dude, my bad. I fell asleep. I'll be right there." You're like, "No, you don't work here anymore."
I said that to you?
Yeah, 100%. You're like, "You don't work."
No.
Yeah. I mean, your manager was kind of a douchebag, so he probably told you to say that.
Oh,
But,
yeah. You know what? I do remember that. Yeah, he told me because I think I got you the job. He told me to call you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You don't work here anymore, man." And I'm like, "Oh, all right. I guess that makes sense." Only time I've ever been fired. You fired me from the pizza place.
Wow. I was pretty good about it though, huh? I was pretty like.
Yeah, no, that was good. It was good. No hard feelings. It made sense. I slept through my shift.
Wow, what a responsibility my boss gave me to start firing people. I'm like,
he was like, "Neil, you hired this dude. You gotta take responsibility for firing him."
yeah, I think that's how it went down. No, I don't. You know what? I don't. I try not to remember those bad memories, Steve. I really wish you worked out. So.
Hey, I'm glad it didn't work out because who knows? I might still be there.
You want to talk some wrestling high school? I know you heard me and Ryan go on about it a little bit. See, I always thought Ryan went to States. Apparently, he didn't. I thought he went to States.
So we can talk about my wrestling, whatever, if you want to. But I wanted to make a comment from the last episode.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Ryan talk about wrestling Penry.
Okay.
In the sectional finals, and so have you ever worked at Boutsville with PV?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So there was an antique dealer who was an old dude. He had a van. I don't know if the stuff that was in his van was garbage or antiques or what it was.
Right.
He was like super senile. He was from Frankfurt. And the year that Ryan was going to meet Penry at sectionals, man, all this dude was talking about was like, Penry this, Penry that, Penry this. And he was like going off about Penry. And I'm like, yo, watch out for Ryan Wendt. This dude is going to beat your boy Penry. And then he ended up losing to him like 3-2 in sectionals. Like, man, this old dude got my number. Couldn't believe it.
Was he talking all that trash in front of Mark?
No. It was just me and a couple of wrestlers.
Oh, okay.
No, he was just talking about how good Penry was. And Penry was a good wrestler, obviously. He ended up winning states. But it was just funny hearing Ryan tell that story. And then that memory came back. I'm like, dude, I remember having this argument with this old antique dealer about how Penry was like this great wrestler. I'm like, dude, we got a good guy too.
Nice. Yeah, you always got to stick up for your own, man. Those BBS state champions. You won CNYs. I think you won CNYs a lot. So that was like my goal to win CNYs too.
So I was undefeated in the CNY tournament for 4 years, except for my sophomore year I lost in the finals. But I won Seaford from Mohawk, I think.
Oh, Mohawk, yep. They had a great coach.
But yeah, so I won every single CNYs match except for the finals my sophomore year.
Yeah, I think the incentive for me was the T-shirt, man, with the champion on the back, and you always had one. So
I still have them. I wear them all the time.
Nice. Yeah, I went CNY's twice. No, one time. I got it one time, I think. Maybe it's yeah, I don't remember. I beat the kid. I beat the kid from United. I won it one time my senior year. I think I came in second place a couple times, but yeah, that was always a tournament that I enjoyed because it was home field advantage for us. We got a couple of minutes left in the show. Is there anything you wanted to talk about? I think I had. That's all I really wanted to go over. You want to talk Cam Newton to the Patriots?
Yo, Cam Newton could be the fantasy winning quarterback of the year.
They're not even saying
You think he's not going to start?
I don't think that. That's what they're saying.
If you draft Cam Newton in like the 13th, 14th round, you might have an MVP quarterback on your team.
Yeah, because he's you know why? Because he's pissed.
Right.
He's fucking pissed.
He's literally the Lamar Jackson of this season. He's gonna make you the most fantasy equity on your pick.
So on the Patriots offense, then, who is the second fantasy appealing piece?
It's got to be like what? Maybe Edelman?
Yeah, but I like Edelman. Obviously, is going to get 7 to 9 looks a game, but I don't think the yardage is there, and I don't know if the touchdowns are there. You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking? N'Keal Harry, first round pick in Arizona, wasn't really in the offense last season. I think he was he didn't have a connection with Brady, but he reminds me of the tall 6'5" Calvin Benjamin, that rookie season Calvin Benjamin had with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I think Cam Newton in the red zone and N'Keal Harry might be it. That's and then they don't have a tight end. They don't have a tight end though. He used to always throw it to Olsen too. So you're right though. He's just gonna do it all himself though, run it in his legs. And then I was listening to another podcast. Somebody was talking about the running backs and that how Cam Newton's running backs always fare well, even though he is touchdown vulturing them in that red zone.
So James White is probably gonna have a good year. I don't know if Sony Michel is going to catch enough balls out of the backfield. It's never been his thing. He's more of a hand the ball off kind of running back. So I mean, I don't know. I would favor James White in that backfield over Sony Michel, especially at the price. I'm assuming Sony Michel is more expensive than James White in the draft.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because they drafted Damian Harris too. I don't know. Sony Michel is a good talent, though. I remember watching him at Georgia. So, I don't know.
I don't know if he can't catch the ball in the backfield, or they just don't want him to. I don't know why they don't use him that way.
Yeah. I tend to stay away from Patriots players in fantasy, or if I'm just betting on the game. I never know what's going to happen with the Patriots. But I'm excited to have Tom Brady down here in Tampa with me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to a game, but it'll be exciting for the buzz. The Super Bowl is here this year too, if it happens.
That's the best offense Tom Brady's ever been on.
I know, and everybody is so high. I think Gronk's going to be a bust.
Probably, but I think is O.J. Howard still there?
Yeah, O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate. They got 3 tight ends.
I think Howard can learn a lot from Gronkowski.
Right.
He comes in and is like that mentor type.
Yeah.
I feel like O.J. Howard could be a monster if he could learn just to play the way Gronkowski played, because he's just as physical, he's just as fast, he's just as big.
Yes. So, hot take from Steve Wile. O.J. Howard has more touchdowns than Gronkowski?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you think? Yeah. Okay, I like that, because
definitely. I don't think Gronk's gonna be healthy enough. I mean,
he had a whole year off. He trains with that trainer. He's got the whole.
He's like a half robot. Most of his parts aren't even his anymore.
It's a good point. He's had a lot of surgeries.
Plus, he probably wants to get that 24/7 belt back since he lost it. He lost it in his own yard.
Oh, he did? Who did he wrestle?
I don't know. Some guy just came up out of nowhere, knocked him over, pinned him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was doing like an Instagram post for the Bucks, and they had him lose the 24/7 belt.
They took him out. They took him out. How it was a coup?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm excited for the Bucks offense and Tom Brady. Everybody's high on Chris Godwin, which he had a breakout season, but I think Mike Evans is like going to be the Randy Moss of
he
that
could.
year.
He could, right?
Yeah, and he's going in the second round. I mean, Chris Godwin's going ahead of him. I'm all in love with Mike
Yeah.
Evans.
So last year I was Chris Godwin favor. I favored Chris Godwin over Evans. I think I had Godwin in every fantasy league, but this year it flip flop for me too. I think Godwin's too expensive, and I think Evans has more over the top potential, which is something that Brady likes to do.
Oh
So.
yeah, and he can do. I think. I mean, didn't do it a lot at the Patriots, but I don't think he had a receiver that could do it.
Right. No, that's 100%.
Nice. And then the AFC East, I have a lot of friends that are Bills fans. They're obviously not taking the Cam Newton news very well. But I fell in love with Josh Allen Thanksgiving against Cowboys.
Dude, me too. I don't gamble on sports a lot, but I was going, like everybody says, right? I was going to bet on the Bills that game.
Yeah.
But I really was like, and I just never got around to putting any money on the game because like they had the points, but I was taking a money line because I knew they were going to beat them. I just knew the Cowboys were going to lose that game. And dude, Josh Allen is for as erratic as he can be at times. Maybe it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
This dude is so physically gifted.
Oh yeah, he's got courage.
Yeah, definitely. He reminds me of like a fiery like Brett Favre or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Not afraid to make mistakes, you know.
He's got the arm. I think the question on him is his accuracy and his decision making. But I mean, his decision making to pull it down and run with it has been pretty good.
I'll tell you a decision that he made to throw that lateral in that Houston Texans game.
Yeah.
If that lateral's completed, Dawson Knox scores a 40-yard touchdown because there was nobody else on the field between Knox and the end zone.
Yeah, that playoff game was heartbreaking for me too. I mean, they had Deshaun Watson in the backfield, and he was. I mean, and if all right, I hate to do this, but if the rules were a little different and everybody's not protecting their star quarterbacks, do you think Deshaun Watson gets out of that? If they like laid a hit on him like they normally would if they didn't want a flag called?
Yeah, right. Like if you have your defenders like going 100% as opposed to like trying to avoid a flag. Yeah, definitely. I think about that all the time. I think about that anytime I see a quarterback escape.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, is that defender really hitting him as hard as he can?
Yeah. We can blame Aaron Rodgers for that. I hope he gets benched this year. I think I want to leave it off on that. Hashtag bench Aaron Rodgers. So